Alright, so what's up world? Chris Lee back with another United Destiny Entertainment tutorial video. Hey, check this out. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get more videos like this in the future. Alright, so what's up guys? Chris Lee back with another video. What I'm going to be doing in this live video today is just pretty much talking to you guys about a new singing template that I got in Cakewalk. Guys, I know that you haven't been seeing me make a lot of videos in Cakewalk lately, but guys, I can tell you right now, the Cakewalk videos are here to stay. I just been doing a lot of stuff in Pro Tools. I still been doing a lot of stuff in Logic, you know, still Cakewalk, FL Studio, you name it. I've just been trying to bring everybody the tutorials that they need to get things popping, okay? What I'm doing today is I'm going to be working from my PC today. I still work on a Mac. I just decided to switch over because obviously on the new M1 chips, you cannot put Cakewalk on the M1 chips, okay? But if you guys hadn't had a chance to check out my other video in the past, I think like a couple weeks ago, I actually showed you guys how to put Cakewalk on a MacBook Pro. So if you have a MacBook Pro, an older version before the M1 chips, guys, you can put Cakewalk on your MacBook Pro or any one of your Mac products, okay? All you have to do is utilize Boot Camp, and if you utilize Boot Camp, then you should be able to go ahead and load Windows 10 on there, okay? So you load Windows 10, you'll be good to go. Go ahead and install the Cakewalk, and boom, you're ready to start recording. That's what I did on my MacBook Pro. So on my PC and my MacBook Pro, I actually have Cakewalk, but I really wish that they make it for my M1 Mac Mini so I can go ahead and just, you know, do everything on that system. But since I can't, I'm here to show you guys this template that I have inside of Cakewalk. Is going to be great for singers. It's going to be great for people who like to sing rap at the same time. If you're into people like Juice WRLD or anybody like that, you can definitely accomplish that sound with this template. So guys, I definitely recommend that you guys go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and jump into it, okay? So with that being said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see any of the comments today. I probably need to go ahead and just, you know, check it out on YouTube to kind of be on the safe side. I don't expect it to be a lot of views and stuff right now because it's late. I never really do live videos this late, but you know, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I felt, you know, in a mood to go ahead and do this, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. But let's just go ahead and check it out. Guys, also let me know if you can hear it or not, because I won't be able to tell since I'm doing it from my PC and I hadn't really done it in a while from my PC, so I'm not really sure. If you're watching this video, please leave me some comments letting me know that you can see my footage, also that you can hear my audio. Let's go ahead and check this template out. This is the song that I just recorded. Right now, it's unmixed. But the vocals still sound full. It sounds fat. This template is going to be perfect for you people who want to have that fat, full stereo sound when you record. Let's go ahead and check it out.
I feel depression inside, and I'm losing my mind. I'm wasting my time trying to find you when I can't. It's like you're running away when the love is here. All this pain been hurt, now you live in fear. You gotta do better, let me do you better. Let me do you better, babe. And don't you give in, don't you give up. You got a lot of fire left if you believe it. I may not be perfect, but I know I'm enough. You gotta be in position so you can receive it. Cause I just wanna make you my forever girl, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me, I don't wanna be with you, I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. Together forever, be my forever girl.
guys, this template, I'm telling you guys, I have it for sale. Shout out to everybody who purchased the last template. Guys, I can see that many of you purchased it. Many of you, your recordings sound better because you purchased it. It was just a template that I created to help you guys go ahead and just open up Cakewalk and start to record. Everything was already labeled for you. Everything, you know, the effects, everything was already there. This template is going to be similar, but just more from an R&B standpoint. If you want to get that full sound that you hear in this song, guys, all you have to do is purchase the template. You're definitely going to hear all your harmonies. Everything's going to be labeled. You stack the vocals, you stack your harmonies, so you can hear everything in the left ear, the right ear. It's also going to come with the effects chain that I have in here, okay? Here's the positive about it. Guys, it does not require you to have waves. What you hear right now, and while it sounds so good right now, it's only the stock plugins that come inside of Cakewalk. So don't stress out like, oh, I need to go buy these plugins or buy that plugin or make this, you know, just whatever to try to make this sound good. I already have the effects chain set up for you. That's the positive about it. So this effects chain is going to come with all the plugins inside of Cakewalk already, okay? Now, if you happen to struggle with, you don't own auto-tune or you don't have any pitch correction software, whatever the case may be, there's a couple options that you can do. You could either record your vocals raw, take them into another software that you may have some type of plugin or something like that, pitch correct them there and pull them back into the software. Or if you already have auto-tune or something that you've already purchased, Waves Tune Lite, there's a couple of them out there. I think the Meta Tune from, I don't know, that company, Slate Digital or something like that, Slate. They have their plugin if you want to purchase it. But if you are looking for something free, then I recommend that you download Melda Productions plugins, okay? They have a lot of dope plugins, obviously some of them that cost money, just like Waves plugins, but they also have a bundle that's free that comes with 37 plugins, and it comes with something called the M Auto Pitch, okay? I did a video on this and it was super dope. This is a plugin that's free, that's just like Auto-Tune, guys. As you can see, it has the retune speed. You can pretty much make it sound, you know, like the format. You can change it to make it sound higher pitch, lower pitch. You can set it to the keys, the scale, the whole 9 yards. And if you hear it on my vocals right now, even though I'm a singer, I still can sing. I wanted to utilize something inside of this program that wasn't going to require people really to spend any kind of money. So this is a free auto-tune pitch correction type plugin that works great. And I think it sounds great. If you can hear my vocals, I think my vocals sound pretty damn good. And this is unmixed. You know, this song is unmixed. Also, it comes with, if you get their kit or their bundle that's for free, it comes with a saturator, okay? This saturator is a nice saturation plugin that I absolutely love to use on the vocals. It's giving that nice, warm, saturated sound to the vocals. I think it sounds great. Again, it's free. They have a little sale going on right now that if you pay, I think like $30 or something, they'll give you a nice amount of plugins, and it'll pretty much remove this if that's something that you want to do, okay? I just installed it right now. Already happened on my Mac. I utilize it all the time. But this is just something that I needed to install today for Cakewalk for the purposes of this video, okay? It's a great plugin. I definitely recommend that you get it. Also, I believe this vocal doubler is free as well from Isotop, if I'm saying it right. This is a great plugin. It's a doubler plugin, so if you don't have the Waves plugin or any type of other doubler plugin, excuse me, I definitely recommend that you get this one because it's free. I think it sounds great. You can do some great things with it in your recordings. It gives you that nice doubled sound effect. I really hear a lot of those sound effects on a lot of artists, especially like Juice WRLD. That's why I like to use it, because I was doing a tutorial to sound more like Juice WRLD. If you haven't checked that video out, go check that out as well. But this template will help you get that nice, full, unique sound in your recordings, okay, guys? And that's just period, point blank. Everything is already going to be set up for you. The reverb, the EQ, the effects on here, the compression, everything is going to already be set for you. All you got to do is purchase the template and record on the tracks that I have labeled. If you follow it the way that I have it, guys, I'm telling you, your songs are going to sound full. They're going to sound fat. Everything is already set up, ready for you to go. If you start to go in and start changing stuff, you can do that if you want to. But if you're somebody who don't really know what you're doing, trust me, just record everything where it's going to be labeled, and you're going to have a nice, full, fat sounding song. And if you decide that you want to get it mixed and mastered by me, guys, I offer those services as well, which I highly recommend, because all you would have to do after you record your song is simply send me the session, and I can go ahead and just mix and master that thing right then and there. It just makes it super convenient, okay? So guys, let's go ahead and check this out again, and I'm actually let you guys see what it sounds like once I take some of these plugins off. So the effects chain, like I said, it all comes with Cakewalk's plugins, no Waves plugins or anything, okay? Just Cakewalk's plugins, the EQs, the compressors, etc. If I turn this effects chain off, just listen to what the vocals sound like in general. Listen to how they lose their I guess you can say their punchiness. And I'll turn the reverb and the delay off as well. But check it out.
I feel depression inside, and I'm losing my mind. I'm wasting my time trying to find you when I can't. It's like you're running away when the love is here. Understand you've been hurt, now you live in fear. You gotta do better, let me do you better. Let me do you better, babe. And don't you give in, don't you give up. You got a lot of fight left if you believe it. 'Cause I may not be perfect, but I know I'm enough. You gotta be in position so you can receive it. 'Cause I just wanna make you my forever girl, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me. I don't wanna be with you, be with you. I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl.
Guys, if you notice, if you hear, as soon as I went ahead and engaged and turned back on that effects chain that I set up with my custom presets that I set up already for you, it just gave the track life. When I added that delay and that reverb, it really just brightened the vocals up, gave the vocals space. It added some delay. It gave them that clarity. It gave them that punch, the body that you really needed to hear. Even though the vocals sounded great with the effects chain turned off in general, it still had that stereo image, but it just didn't smack you in the face, you know, with that nice, clean clarity sound that most or you are probably looking for in a lot of your recordings. Guys, this proved to you that I don't have to have, or you don't have to have any crazy plugins to make your recording sound great. You just got to know how to utilize your tools, okay? And I just feel like for the majority of you want to be just recording artists. You don't want to be mixing engineers like myself. I just happen to be a singer, songwriter, producer myself, as well as a mix engineer. Okay, so I understand the frustration that you guys can deal with when you are trying to record your own music and it don't sound good. The benefit that you're going to get out of getting this template is simply, like I said, it takes away the trouble from you. You don't have to worry about, oh, let me put this EQ on, or let me put that EQ or this compressor or whatever the case may be. You utilize what's in the template. All you have to do is just pretty much tweak whatever you need to tweak to make it sound however you want to make it sound. What do I mean by that? If you went in here to the effects chain, the plugins that I have in the effects chain already, guys, like I said, all you'll have to do is if you double click it, boom, everything's set up, ready to go. You can just go in and change something. If you need to change something, you go ahead and do that. Okay? You just change whatever you need to change. Change the parameters, change the compression, change the reverb, change the delay timing. Same thing with that. You go to the reverb. If it's not sounding the way that you want to sound it, make it sound. Go ahead and change it to your own parameters. You know, change your own parameters, change the room size, change the reverb, maybe less, maybe add more. The early reflection, make it more dry, the decay time. All these different things are just something that you can just play with on your own, okay? The reason why I sell templates in general is because I want you guys to learn something. I'm not like a lot of rest of the other engineers, and I'm not hating on them or throwing shade at them. A lot of the engineers that sell these templates on YouTube to a lot of you, they don't really care what you sound like. They just make some template up and say, hey, go record with it. You know, I personally don't do that. What I recommend a lot of you do anyways is to buy my custom template that's for you, specifically for you. So that means that I will take your vocals and I will go ahead and create you a custom template that's best fit for you. That means find the EQ that's best fit for you, the compressor that's best fit for you, the reverb, the de-esser, everything that's best fit for you and your recording space through your equipment. Not through mine, not through your homeboys, not through, you know, your neighbor down the street, whatever the case may be. I create templates that's best fit for you and your vocals only. That means that when you record with the custom template that I create you, guys, it's going to be, your vocals are going to sound A1 every time you record. Now, let me be honest with you guys, because a lot of these other engineers are not honest about this. It's not a mastering template, okay? There's a difference between a vocal template, a session template, a mastering template, a mixing template. They're all different, okay? So when I tell you, if you request something for me, you simply, all you have to do is just ask me, what do you want specifically for me to make you? And then I'll go ahead and charge you based off that. If you're looking for a vocal template, which is something that I highly recommend people, go ahead and get the custom vocal template and allow me to take your vocals from a session that you recorded and let me go ahead and create that custom template for you. So when it's time to record, then you'll sound good. Now, will I have every DAW out there? No. I mean, some people have told me to get Mixcraft and Reaper and all these other things. I've tried some of those softwares. I personally don't like them. It's not that I have anything against them, but if it works for you, it works for you. But the majority of the time, I'm going to be doing templates inside of FL Studio. I have templates. Cakewalk, I have templates. Pro Tools, I have templates. Logic Pro X, I have templates. You know, different things like that. There are other softwares that I would be willing to get, but, you know, I'll obviously have to download them and then try to go ahead and learn them real quick and go ahead and create you a template. But for the most part, if you need something that's like ready to go right now, like this R&B singing template, it don't matter who you are. You can be a singer. You can be a rapper who loves to like try and sing with your vocals. It don't matter the genre neither. As long as you follow recording the vocals on each one of these tracks, your mixes are going to sound great. You know, your vocals are going to sound great. Now, how you go in and mix it and balance it and things like that, that's going to be up to you. You know, it's going to require you to do something, okay? I'm not going to sit here and BS you. It's going to require you, maybe the EQ may need to be adjusted a little bit. You may need to have a little bit more top end, or you may need to have a little more body, or you may need to have some of the low mid frequencies or the low frequencies cut out or taken out. That's gonna require you to utilize your ears basically. But if you don't, all you got to do in the process is hit me up and say, hey, I purchased your template, I recorded a song, I'm looking to get the song mixed and mastered. Which, by the way, I definitely want to let you guys know, for this month and this month only, I am doing a special right now. For this month only, I am mixing and mastering songs, everyone's songs, for $200 per song, okay? That's $200 mix and master. Guys, I recommend that you get it because after this month, the rates are going to go back up. This is how I provide for my family. This is how I pay my bills. This is my profession. I don't have a 9 to 5 at Walmart or whatever job. No shade to anybody who works at any of those jobs, but those aren't my job. My job is being a business owner, an entrepreneur of a production company that specializes in audio, video, photography, graphic design, things like that, okay? So when it comes to this audio side, I try to bless everyone throughout the year by either giving discounts or taking some money off during the holiday seasons to save people some money. I get it. Christmas is here. You know, people are going to have to start buying things for their families, whatever the case may be. You know, my job is always to help you guys out. I'm never trying to make any of you guys break the bank. That's not what I'm here to do. But I also want you guys to respect me and respect what I'm trying to do for you at the same time. $200 is not a lot of money. Maybe for some people, but it's not a lot of money for me, and it's not a lot of money for what I do in general. Okay, so I am trying to bless everyone by allowing them to get their song mixed and mastered for $200 per song. Now, why is this important? Well, period, point blank, if you really want to get noticed, you might want to have your music sound radio ready. You might want to have some professional quality. If your music sound like trash, it's a good chance that people ain't going to even bother listening to you. A lot of you wonder why you're not getting noticed or you're not getting exposure. It's because a lot of times people can't even tolerate listening to your music. And that's just real. People can't tolerate listening to music that sound like garbage, that sound like trash, or you don't even bother to get a song professionally mixed and then you try to go get it mastered and it's like somebody just polished shit. Like, it is what it is. If you want to get noticed, I promise you, get your songs professionally mixed and mastered and then put them out there and see how people start to react to it. If your song don't sound good, I can promise you people are not going to be blasting it. They're not going to add it to their playlist. They're not going to be trying to get us some chick with it. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So just do yourself some justice and do yourself some good by blessing yourself, investing in you, because it's your project. It's your music. If you want people really to listen to your music, then guys, get your stuff professionally done. And if you don't have the budget for it, sit down and watch my damn tutorials and learn. Sit down behind your computer, watch my tutorials and let them play all day. Get you a pen, get you a pad, take some notes, record you some vocals, and start practicing and applying everything that I teach you in the videos, because that's what I do it for. Guys, I do it for you. I don't do it for me. I don't get any benefit out of it, okay? So let me see one more thing before I get up out of here, because this is going to be super crucial for you guys, and I really hope that you take advantage of it. I got to find some way to start checking these comments out. Okay, let me check some of these comments out. I'm sorry if the screen is going to look a little different. Let me see. Somebody said first, sound good, a little warble and auto-tune in the beginning. Absolutely. That's something that I totally want. It's not mixed right now. That's just a little effect that I love having on the vocals. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I didn't go in and like individually fix notes or whatever. I just pretty much set the key and just went ahead and did my thing. So that's a cool thing. It's something that I like with my vocals. Let me see. I love M Auto Pitch. I've been messing around with it earlier. Absolutely. It's a dope little plugin. Is it as consistent as Auto Tune or the one in Logic? Probably not. It's not, it's not that consistent. Let me see something now, because I don't know what you guys are going to see on the screen and I don't want it to look weird. Okay, maybe if I make it big like that, then, it'd probably look a lot better. Let me see. I need the template for rap vocals and auto-tune. I definitely got that template for sale. So just email me matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put it in there so you can get it right now. Let me see. It says sign in to chat. So yeah, I'll just go ahead. If you don't know my email, it's just uniteddestinyent@gmail.com. Okay. So go ahead and check that out. Email me for that template. As soon as you guys go ahead and make the payment via Cash App, PayPal or whatever, what I do is I just pretty much forward it to you right away. So as soon as the payment is made, I'll forward that thing to you. So, just go ahead and get that and start recording right now. Let me see. if you did email me earlier and I didn't get back to you, it's only because I'm constantly mixing for clients and doing videos and editing, because I don't just do audio, I do filmmaking as well. So, working on films, working on other projects, things like that. I'm just constantly busy. Plus I got a wife and 5 kids, so I got to kind of work them into the routine as well. Let me see. Yes, the info is in the description box. So thank you for that. I truly appreciate that. Somebody said fire. Absolutely. I need to get that template when I get paid. Yeah, definitely. Just go ahead and get the template. Guys, one thing I want a lot of you to know out there is, again, I'm not here to scam anybody. Like, I don't throw shade at other engineers or producers on YouTube. But I didn't had so many people come to me saying, man, I didn't bought this template from this person on YouTube and that person on YouTube, and they supposed to be the biggest and most popular, whatever the case may be. I'm like, hey, they say that they purchased it and they say that they hate it. It don't like it. It don't sound good. It don't yada, 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 this and that. And I say, hey, that's fine. There's a reason why it doesn't sound good, because it wasn't specifically made for you. Okay. So that's something that you guys need to consider. All right. Let me see. How much are you charging for the custom template? The custom templates are $50. The custom templates are $50. Keep that in mind. And the regular templates that I have now are $25. Okay, so when you get the custom template, remember, that's going to take me longer. I could charge a lot more for that, but it's going to take me time to go ahead and get your vocals, and I'm going to get surgical with your vocals, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to EQ. I'm going to listen to how your vocals sound in general, or maybe over a beat or a song that you're working on in general. And I'm basically going to EQ and set up the presets as if I was your engineer, as if you were in my home studio recording, whatever the case may be, my booth, whatever the case may be. I am going to EQ, compress, de-ess your vocals, put gates on your vocals if that's something necessary and needed. But it's all based on your space. If you record in a treated space and your space sounds pretty good, then that makes it a little bit easier on me. I don't have to do anything crazy. But some of you guys, which I don't know why, some of you guys just recorded in such terrible environments sometimes that you don't really give yourself the honest chance to sound good or make your music sound good in general. All you got to do is go on Amazon, get you some treatment on Amazon. It's not that expensive. You can put some stuff on your walls. You can use blankets. You can add more furniture to your room, whatever the case may be. And that stuff will sound a lot better. Trust me, it'll sound a lot better. But other than that, depending on what it sounds like, I'm just basically going to take it through your recording and your recording environment, through your microphone, through your interface, whatever the case may be. And I am going to make your vocals sound as best as possible for your recording environment. That way, when you record, you sound saucy. That's all you need to do. You're going to sound saucy for sure. Let me see. Thanks for your time. Can you do nature soundscape or something? Absolutely. That's a very interesting question. In general, I think, it really just depends. Like, I'm trying to get like a bunch of tutorials, out there for people, and trying to do some things live, trying to help people in so many different areas in general. So like what you just recommended, if that's something that I need to do, then I'll go ahead and do that. I'm just trying to, find the time to really get all these tutorials out. Cause while I'm shooting a lot of tutorials, I'm editing a lot of tutorials at the same time. Plus doing mixing, mastering, sound design, songwriting for artists, artist development, producing for artists, the whole 9 yards. It's just a lot that I'm constantly trying to get done. Let me see. Somebody said, can you do a custom template for Adobe? You know what? I think I can. I haven't worked in Adobe in a minute, but it ain't something that, can't be done. Like, I'm pretty sure I can definitely do that. And what I'll do is I'll work on it tomorrow. I'll just try to crack it open and see if I can basically get something working or popping for you, okay? Let me see. Somebody said, yeah, so I emailed you earlier. Info in the description. How much is it, though? Yeah, so 50 for the custom, 25 for the regular, okay? So, and just because it's regular, like I said, it doesn't mean that it won't sound good. I mean, you just clearly heard in the track here what this template can sound like, okay? Let's just go ahead and listen to it one more time before I get up out of here. But guys, I definitely recommend that you get it for sure.
Yeah. I feel depression inside, and I'm losing my mind. I'm wasting my time trying to find you when I can't. It's like you're running away when the love is here. Understand you've been hurt, now you live in fear. You gotta do better, let me do you better. Let me do you better, babe. And don't you give in, don't you give up. You got a lot of fight left if you believe it. I may not be perfect, but I know I'm enough. You gotta be in position so you can receive it. Cause I just wanna make you my forever girl, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me. I don't wanna be with you, I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. Together forever, be my forever, girl.
And with that beat muted.
It takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me. I don't wanna be with you, I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. Together forever, be my forever, girl.
Guys, y'all hear those harmonies? Those harmonies are fat.
It's like you're...
And these harmonies are fat. These harmonies are fat, guys, because like I said, this template is already set up. It's already set up. Everything is panned for you. The volumes and everything is going to be adjusted. You just got to adjust things on your own, man. That's it. Like if you need to push the levels a little bit, push the levels a little bit. If you need to add a little bit more compression, do that. If you need to add a little more plugins on top of that, guys, do that. Add whatever the hell you want to add on top of this template to make it sound even better. But this is just proven to you guys with the effects chain that I have, one pitch correction, one saturation plugin, and one vocal doubler. What you can definitely get out of this is definitely worth it.
It's like you're running away when the love is here. Understand you've been hurt, now you live in fear. You gotta do better, let me do you better. Let me do you better, babe. And don't you give in, don't you give up. You got a lot of fight left if you believe it. I may not be perfect, but I know I'm enough. You gotta be in position so you can receive it. Cause I just wanna make you my forever girl, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me. I don't wanna be with you, I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl.
And guys, let me just say too, with the M auto pitch, it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect. It's definitely not the cleanest pitch correction plugins. Like I hear the little shakiness that it adds, or the artifacts that it adds to my vocals. It tends to sound digitized, but guys, that doesn't mean that you can't do anything creative with it. Like it's better in my opinion than sounding like complete trash. Okay, I think it's something that you can do creatively when it comes to music, so it's not something that I would complain about, especially with it being free. But I mean, if you have the money to go ahead and you know, purchase Auto-Tune and Meta-Tune and all these other, you know, plugins that cost a lot of money, then by all means do it, guys. Like, period. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? But for the people who want to start recording, get things popping inside of Cakewalk right now, utilize this. Utilize Melder production plugins. There's G Snap out there, I believe. Like I said, there's some other ones out there that are free. They're not gonna sound perfect, but this one, it sounds pretty decent to be a free plugin. So I figure, why not? You know what I'm saying? So other than that, guys, that's just pretty much it. Let me go ahead and check these comments one more time. Let me see. Let me see. Yo, should I hear my vocals live while recording? That's a personal preference. Honestly, that's really up to you. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger now. Y'all probably like seeing those comments. I don't know what the background looks like or if it looks weird. But let me see. Yeah, so it says, yo, should I hear my vocals while recording? That's a personal preference. Honestly, if you like to hear yourself, then absolutely. If you can deal, if your program don't come with any latency, then yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I love recording to where I can hear myself. Now, if there's latency issues, no, I don't like that. Like I would basically mute myself in a heartbeat and then just kind of like, you know, do my thing so I can record better, because that latency kind of throw me off. Even like right now with this USB mic, I kind of get like a little latency. So sometimes you'll see me like pull this off or whatever, so I can actually hear myself talk versus kind of hearing like that double effect in the headphones, because it kind of throws me off and make me stutter, and that's just because I hear myself double. Okay, let me see. But yeah, definitely, if you don't have latency issues, yeah, record with to where you can hear yourself. Turn on the input monitoring. If people don't know how to utilize that or do that inside of Cakewalk, and Pro Tools is going to be input monitoring. If it's going to be Cakewalk, it's pretty much going to be this button here. This is going to be your input monitoring. Okay, and then if you have any issues to where you feel like, yo, it's kind of throwing you off or whatever, then you just go into the preferences or whatever. And once you go into the preferences, you can actually go down to your buffer size, and just make sure your buffer size is all the way down, or just whatever your interface allows. Now, Cakewalk tends to come with more latency than other programs, and it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like a thing that be happening in Logic too as well, which I get pretty annoyed by, but it just all depends on what you utilize. Right now on this computer, I'm using the M Audio Fast Track Ultra, which is by far one of my favorite interfaces of all time. I've had this thing like a decade or longer. People are like, man, you need to like upgrade and get rid of that. I'm like, no, you don't try and fix what isn't broken. Now on my Mac side, I got the Apollo Twin X. Honestly, I paid a lot of money for that. I don't even think it's, in my opinion, I just don't think it was worth the money that I paid for. Like, you know, it's a great interface. It gets the job done. It sounds good. But I could have got away, if I wanted to upgrade, I could have got away with the SSL 2 Plus. That's definitely the interface that I recommend, that I'm actually about to buy as well, because I have multiple setups in my household. I think I got like, I don't know, four or five production setups here. My son is a singer-songwriter producer as well. My wife does music. She does gaming. We just have a bunch of different computers. I have one in a booth. I have my main setup here. I have laptop setups, the whole 9 yards. So I'm definitely going to get the SSL 2 Plus interface. It was probably like $800 cheaper than buying this Apollo Twin. So I definitely recommend that if you are looking for a good interface. But if you have an interface that is really good on latency, which the Apollo Twin is, because it has like its own console and its own monitoring system, which is pretty beneficial in my opinion. But for the most part, if you have an interface that struggles with input monitoring and latency issues, then yeah, it's going to be pretty annoying. So you might want to turn this off, or just mute yourself while you record, and probably just pull the headphones off on one side and you'll be able to hear yourself. And then go back and turn effects on or whatever to sound better. Let me see. How far will these $25 presets from you take us in our careers? Say if we bought 3 of them, should those sound good on pretty much every beat? Absolutely. I can't speak for everybody's templates in general, but If you get a custom template, the custom template is going to basically be best fit for you and your vocals. So, again, there's just going to be certain things that you may need to change. Like if you say the template that I create you, it sounds a particular way for a song with, not so heavy 808s. Okay. The template may be perfect for that, but then you get a song to where the 808s are super heavy and you want your vocals to pierce through a little bit more. All you do is just go into the EQ, go to the low mid frequencies or go to the low frequencies on the EQ and cut it a little bit more so it pierces through those 808s sitting in a mix better. That's all it is. As far as how far it will take you in your career, that's going to be based on you. Like I said, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys out here trying to sell you false hopes. Like, if you are lazy, if you're a lazy artist, a lazy engineer, a lazy producer, if you don't really try to sit here and learn the tools that you purchase from me or that I provide you with to try to get better, it can take you nowhere. Only you can stop you from going to be great in your career. But if you want to be great in your career, then you got to put that work in. You got to learn these tools. You got to learn your sound and make it work for you. And like I said, you have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to be the artist or do you want to be the mix engineer? Or do you want to do both? It's up to you. It's totally up to you. Let me see. Like boom, bops and traps. Let me see. Should those sound good on pretty much every beat? Yeah. So based off the beat, it'll definitely just depend on how you tweak it, and that's pretty much it. Do most artists hear themselves live while recording? I would say the majority of them do. Like I said, unless there's like that issue with latency. But in my opinion, if you want to sound, I hate when artists say, man, yeah, the last engineer or producer I was recording with, blah, 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 they had me basically recording with my vocals dry. And I'm thinking to myself, why? That's stupid. That's dumb as hell. Like, why would you, if you wanted the artist to sound like completely dry while he was recording, that doesn't put them in an atmosphere. Me as an engineer, when I'm recording different artists and stuff, I love to go ahead and get some basic EQ, some basic compression, some basic reverb, some basic delay kind of going to put them in the atmosphere so they can get a better performance. Me being a singer, songwriter, producer myself, like when I'm constantly recording music, if I'm just hearing myself draw, it's like, yo, I'm not in the zone right now. But when I can actually hear a lot of the effects, it really makes me do a lot of runs better. It makes me hold my notes better. I can feel like the effect, the emotions from it. So I personally love to hear myself while I record. That's just me though. Let me see. I need some vocal lessons. I'm trying to sing too. Hey, I didn't turn some rappers into some singers. Like, I didn't turn some rappers who didn't even know that they can sing into some singers. They went through my artist development program. They basically just took the opportunity to push their vocals to the limit and doing things that they've never done before. And honestly, they turned out to be some dope ass singers. Like, not even joking, straight up. Let me see the proper audio interface. You can hear raw and DAW or both. Let me see. I'm not sure what that question is. With the proper audio interface, you can hear raw and DAW or both. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're saying there, Andy. Let me see. Which interface and mic do you have? The quality is perfect. So I have a plethora. I have a lot of collection of stuff, but this particular combo that you just heard right now, believe it or not, is my old M Audio Fast Track Ultra that came out like 10 years ago. And like I said, people always say, oh man, like there's no way that you get good quality with that interface. Like, it's just not going to perform well. I'm like, no, you don't know what the hell you talking about. I have literally 20 plus years of experience of knowing what I'm doing. I know how to utilize my tools. I can make pretty much anything sound good. I have done professional recordings with even Behringers. I'm not even joking. If you go check out that song, Keep Going by Arian Lee, Arian Lee. That's my son. My boys are under 10 years old. If you listen to that song and how professionally mixed that song is and how good it sounds, I legitimately recorded that on a little Behringer, or however you said, interface and MXL 990 microphone. And that microphone is under $100. And I promise you the quality is it's amazing, period. It's great. But as far as one of my microphones that I utilize for this particular recording that you just heard is a TLM 103. One of the microphones that people just absolutely hate for whatever reason. But I think the TLM 103 is a great microphone. Yes, it has a lot of body. Yes, it can be a little, I guess you can say a little bit on the muddier side versus that over the 102. But I can tell you right now, the majority of you people on, and not just y'all, but the majority of people in general who buy things from these YouTube videos is they go and listen to these engineers that say, oh man, headphones, you got to go get the Bayer Dynamic, blah, 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 770s and 990s, all this BS. And I'd be like, shut up with that bullshit. Like, listen to me. Anybody out there listening, go out and purchase equipment and see if it sounds good and if it's best for you. If it's best for you. Okay? These headphones right here, these are the Tascam TH200Xs. I did like a giveaway. I got these headphones on sale. They had them like $30 on sale. They originally was like $100. When I got these headphones and I listened to the headphones, I was completely blown away. I'm not even joking. Like, I was blown away and I was like, yo, I need multiple pairs of those headphones throughout my house because they sound great. When you start, buying into the BS where you got to have this and you got to have that because it's the standard, and if you don't, it won't sound good and it won't sound great and you're just wasting your money and you're wasting your time. I deal with people every single day that like, man, I saw this YouTube video and they told me that I needed to buy this, and that, and my quality still sucks, or my this and that still sucks. It's like, yeah, because you have to understand how to utilize your tools in general, okay? The TLM 103, it just happens to be, one of my favorite microphones to utilize in general. I also love Sterling audio microphones. Like, I've made some beautiful sounding professional recordings with Sterling audio microphones. Okay, MXL microphones as well, Audio Technica microphones. It's all about just learning your tools, learning your microphones, and making it sound good. Let me see. Which interface? And I use FL Studio. I use FL Studio too. I absolutely love it. It's a dope program, but I use everything differently. Like, I use Pro Tools mainly to mix and master, record vocals, sound design, the whole 9 yards. Pro Tools is my go-to, period, point blank. I utilize Logic to mix and master as well, but with Logic, I love to do more so producing a lot of my R&B beats or a lot of my softer beats or a lot of my sound design type stuff as well. When it comes to like bangers and hard-hitting beats and I just want stuff that's going to knock in the easiest process to get it done, I utilize FL Studio. I know FL Studio is going to get the job done. That's what I'm running with all day long. And if I absolutely had nothing else, I know FL Studio is going to get the job done because it can do all in one. It can record, it can produce beats. And a lot of these programs you can do all that stuff with. A lot of people, I know people who love to just produce beats inside of Pro Tools. Do I love to always produce beats inside of Pro Tools? No, I don't feel like the workflow is as easy as Logic or FL Studio. So I would utilize those to make more beats. But as far as recording vocals, hands down, not really having to deal with any latency crap, the whole 9 yards, I'm sticking with Pro Tools and Pro Tools only. But I've recorded plenty of professional songs inside of Logic. I'm certified in all these programs. I have been for years. I just love them. I think they're great in general. But FL Studio, hands down, when you ain't got nothing else and you need something to really get the job done and just knock some beats out, knock some songs out or whatever, FL Studio. By the way, I got FL Studio templates as well. If you guys are interested in that. I'm not like the rest of the engineers. I don't have a whole bunch of templates. I make templates based off the needs of the people. I don't have like, oh, I got a Drake template and I got a, I don't know, Jay-Z template and blah, 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 whoever the rest of the Lil Baby templates and all the rest of the other people. I don't know about all that, but I make it based off the needs of the people. And if somebody hit me up and say, yo, I need a template for this and that, then that's when I'll go ahead and make a template. But I don't just have a bunch of templates like sitting around. But I do got some FL Studio templates, vocal templates that'll get you sounding right if you're interested in that. Let me see. I use Bartender and Steinberg. Is that okay? Is that the microphone as far as the Bartender is? Oh, okay. Behringer. Yeah, okay, Behringer. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they're both good in general. I think that whatever you use, as long as you know how to use it, it's a go-to. Behringer has always had like, people say, oh yeah, they copied this person and they copied that person. Yeah, whatever. You bought it. It don't matter. You bought it. And if you bought it or you support it, then it is what it is. Whatever it takes to get the job done, then you utilize that. Like, I don't knock anybody. Like, you can use Behringer. If you decide to use something really expensive, and it sounds like your music still sound like crap, then yeah, I'm gonna probably frown upon you a little bit and say, yeah, you might want to return that. But it's just all about learning it. But yeah, it's a lot of good products out there. I don't shame no company. I think I've tried to make everything work as much as possible. I'm glad to hear you say that about Apollo. Yeah. Everybody got mixed emotions about Apollo. Like I said, Apollo is one of them things that I'm not gonna sit out here and go tell everybody to go buy Apollo Twin. I'm just not gonna do it. It sounds great. But I cannot justify the pricing for the Apollo Twin, especially with the plugins. When they make you seem like you're just going to get so many plugins when you buy this thing, you're not. You're going to get a couple plugins, if that, and you probably rarely ever use them. And they're going to have a whole list of plugins that you can't even use unless you buy them. They're just going to have a demo. It can just get pretty pricey. Like I said, for the most part, if you want a go-to interface, in my opinion, I would just go with the SSL. And if you want to go cheaper than that, go with a Focusrite or M Audio. They both sound good. Like I said, I got an M Audio Fast Track Ultra right here that I'm utilizing right now, and I just think it sounds great. I have no problem with it. I really don't even want to get rid of it. It's just technology is upgrading and moving forward, and they're forcing you kind of to upgrade because a lot of this stuff is becoming outdated. But if it's not going to become outdated, then I'm not going to get rid of it. So as long as it keeps working for my major setup, which is my computer, my PC is my workhorse. It's been set up in my studio setup for the longest time. I don't plan on changing it out. And like I said, if I do, it'll definitely be with the SSL, which I probably end up ordering in like 2 days, because I do that sometimes. If I say I want something and I feel like I can truly benefit from it, then I just go ahead and buy it. If not, I save my money. Let me see. What if we buy it and don't have any of the plugins? How will it work, or will it come with the plugins when we download it? So with the plugins, as far as the template, the Cakewalk template, the plugins come inside of the software already. And I purposely did that so people wouldn't be stressing like, oh, I don't have waves, I don't have this, and I don't have that. You don't have to stress about that. Now, as far as the other plugins, the biggest benefit that you're going to get out of that is, like I said, those other plugins are free. So if I go back to this real quick, then I'll go ahead and kind of let you hear that in general. Like I said, I have it to where these plugins already come inside of the software, so you don't have to worry about paying any money for it, okay? This is a vocal chain that I pretty much set up custom made already, okay? So you don't have to worry about having any other plugins. Don't worry about, as far as the other stuff, anything that may not come with this particular one that I have set up in here already, like the Melda Productions, you can go download that for free yourself. They have 37 plugins for free. And by the way, if you download it the right way and download it at your own risk. I've heard some people say that they downloaded the plugins and they got like viruses and all this porn stuff on there. I'm like, that's probably BS. That's probably you going through your other sites and going through other websites, you know, cookies and all this other stuff that you got going on with your computer that put some viruses on your computer. I just downloaded this stuff today and I don't have any issues. You guys know that I put it on my Mac. I didn't have any issues. But again, the vocal doubler is free as well. So if you go ahead and download that, then it'll be good. But you can hear it. So for anybody who just got into the chat, I can't really see the chat right now because I'm on my PC and I'm trying to get all this stuff set up. But I basically got a new Cakewalk template and I just recorded some vocals in here. And I'm basically going to be selling this template for everybody. They don't have to worry about purchasing any plugins. Just go. All this stuff is pretty much going to be free as far as the plugins. And you just kind of buy the template and you do your thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it a little bit of it just in case you got in the chat late and let you check it out.
I feel depression inside, and I'm losing my mind, I'm wasting my time trying to find you when I can't. It's like you're running away when the love is here. Been hurt, now you live in fear. You gotta do better, let me do you better. Let me do you better, babe. And don't you give in, don't you give up. You got a lot of fire left if you believe it. I may not be perfect, but I know I'm enough. You gotta be in position so you can receive it. Cause I just wanna make you my forever girl, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes. But first you gotta tell me if you miss me. Tell me if you miss me. I don't wanna be with you. I know that I'm not ready to stop. I'll keep going for you. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. We can be forever, girl. Together forever, be my forever, girl.
So yes, if you just got into the chat, this is a song that I just recorded right now before I actually did this live video. It's not mixed or anything. I haven't even started mixing it or anything. It just has the effects and the things that I put on there that I'm going to be selling with this template. So if you're interested in the template, just go ahead, email me and we'll get you taken care of. Let me go ahead and pull this back up so I can check some of these comments. Let me see. Let me see. Hey, some. What's good, man? Hey, what's good with you, man? Hey, I've been saying you putting a lot of work in on your videos, man. Keep working hard, man. You really pushing that content, man. And I love your content. I love your videos, man. I really respect what you're doing, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. I truly appreciate, seeing other content creators putting in that work, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Your videos are fire hot, man. For real. Let me see. So yeah, that should have asked, I believe I'm not sure how to say your name. That should have answered your question about the plugins in general. It shouldn't be no stress about that. Don't worry about that. That stuff, those plugins that I showed you as far as the effects chain that I created, they come inside of the software already. So don't trip, okay? Hey, by the way, let me know if my quality sucks right now because I'm shooting this on my iPhone instead of my Mac setup with, with my Canon cameras and all that type of stuff. I didn't want to go through all the trouble of I have multiple cameras in my studio setup or whatever, and I just didn't want to deal with setting all the other cameras up and doing all that on that setup. I just decided to use my iPhone because it's convenient, it's quick. I was kind of tired, been out with the family all day. I just popped it in and shot the video. So hopefully the video still looks good from my iPhone, and hopefully the audio quality from the microphone still sounds good. Let me see. Well, I'm definitely going to hit you up in January for a custom. We'll try and get it for Adobe. I have Melder, Fab Filter, Rough Rider compressor. I'm not Hams. I'm not really sure what that is. Something and some other free programs. We'll definitely list them all. Yeah, definitely let me know. I can tell you right now, I feel like I know that you guys are gonna have a lot of plugins. I know with something hit the keys. He does a lot of tutorials or a lot of videos on like a bunch of free plugins and stuff that, you know, came out or whatever the case may be. And I think that that's something that I truly appreciate in general, because sometimes I don't even try to look for a bunch of plugins and stuff like that. But if I just happen to know, if I just happen to be curious on if there's something out there that's free that I may want to do a video on or whatever, I know to go check his videos out, because he's probably going to have a tutorial or something on it, which is super dope. I know a lot of you got a lot of plugins that I personally don't, because I just don't care to have a whole list of stuff. And then I don't like to make a lot of templates with a bunch of plugins, because people may not have them in general. So I try to keep it basic. Like when I do the people who purchase my Pro Tools template in general, so many people bought that template because I did it with factory plugins, and it still sounded great. It still sounded professional. And I proved even with that template that you don't need to have a bunch of Waves plugins and all this type of stuff or whatever to make that stuff sound good. You just got to work with what you got. So I try to keep it basic so people ain't out here trying to spend a lot of money and feeling discouraged because they don't have a bunch of plugins or whatever. We going to keep it basic. I'm going to make sure that you sound right with what you got. And if you happen to run into any issues, I'm going to help you tweak it to get it right. Anybody who's been following me for a while know that I've always been there to answer a text message, a phone call, an email, or whatever the case may be, to help them in tough situations to where they've been extremely frustrated. And I come in and clutch situations and just really try to get people taken care of so people aren't stressed out. Y'all are my fans, my subscribers, people who I feel like make me want to get up and do this every single day. So I try to do my best to take care of y'all in general. So let me see. Somebody said for headphone, people hearing themselves treated and natural. Yeah, absolutely. Slate Digital has mic conversion. Yeah, Slate has a lot of good stuff in general. I mean, a lot of these companies stuff, it can be a little pricey because obviously it's a competitive market out here. But in general, like I think that these companies in general kind of do a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to their plugins and audio equipment in general. But your average person don't even know what a lot of this stuff is or what it does. They just want to record in general. So, you know, if you say certain things to certain people, they're going to be like, okay, I'm not really sure what that is, but, you know, I like it, or I want to buy it, or whatever the case may be. A lot of these companies, I really wish that they stop trying to compete so much to the point to where it's making it difficult for the consumer buyers. Like, if you got people out here trying to buy your equipment, your plugins, your whatever the case may be, stop trying to compete with all the companies. I get it. Everybody want to make a dollar. Everybody want to make a buck. But, you know, some of these companies need to be loyal and treat their loyal customers a lot better. You know, stop making everything to where it's like out of reach. Money's not even an issue for me in general. I just don't believe in like spending a lot of money on BS. Honestly, I don't believe in spending money on anything that can't put money back in my pocket. I think that's probably why I have the money that I do have, because I don't waste my money on BS. Like, if it don't put money back in my pockets, I won't buy it. Like, I'll go buy plugins. I'll go buy whatever the case may be if I know that it's going to put money back in my pocket. I didn't want to purchase the M1 Mac Mini. To be honest with you, I went through three of them in literally less than 3 months, because the first two that I bought had all kind of issues, beeping noises. It was freezing up. The programs wasn't launching properly. It was a nightmare sending it back and forth. And I'm calling Apple and I'm like, yo, I'm about to snap if you don't give me my damn money back, number one. But if you don't tell me what's going on with this product that you just came out with, like, I don't understand how right at the tail end when you're coming out with new products, how this M1 Mac Minis can have all these issues in general. And it was just a complete nightmare. Still to this day, I've only had it for a few months. I won't even utilize Final Cut Pro. I just utilize Adobe because it doesn't export as fast as they said it would. I still have issues. I had some issues with the screen on my Mac Mini being pink, all kind of nonsense. And I'm just like, yo, like, I remember why I stepped away from Apple in the first place, because I've always been a, huge Abbott and PC user at the same time. I mean, Apple and PC user at the same time. And when they started to do certain things, I started to notice things like every time they come out with a new upgrade or they're about to have a new upgrade, I would notice that the products before would all of a sudden start to get slower, or the operating system would start to like malfunction or start having issues and things like that. And I'm like, yo, this is starting to seem like a little marketing scheme from Apple. Every time they come out with something new, all of a sudden that the cell phone that you have, it's all of a sudden slow and acting up and acting crazy. And I think they do that on purpose to kind of force people to upgrade. Or when they start coming out with new products, they start telling people, well, it don't have this feature or FireWire or this or that, so you have to upgrade to get the best out of this product or whatever the case may be. And when I started to peep game at them kind of like scamming people with that stuff, I legitimately turned against Apple at that point, because I was just like, yo, this is complete. Honestly, this is just bullshit for y'all to be doing that. The people is just not fair. And honestly, Sony and Canon kind of did the same thing with their cameras. Me being a filmmaker and constantly having to buy cameras and things like that for photography and film, is just like, okay, wait. So you charge this amount of money for this camera that comes with this feature, and then you come out with a newer camera that doesn't have the feature that it had on the camera before, and then you're charging more money for it. So it's like, what are we paying for? I'm not understanding what we're investing in. And it's the same thing with these Mac Minis and these Apple products, taking away certain things that they know consumer buyers need. It's just a nightmare. I don't like how they work. I don't like how they operate. I definitely feel that it's always a scam. I was thinking about getting the new MacBook Pro, the M1 MacBook Pro, or seeing the video, seeing certain things. Right now, I'm not convinced. Okay, I'm not convinced. You can say, oh yeah, the screen looks cooler, or it does this, or it does that. No, for somebody who works as much as I do, I need like a workhorse that's going to perform always, not sometimes, especially if you're going to be charging a lot of money for it. I need something that's just going to be like the perfect tool. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're going to be charging me a couple $1,000s for it, it better perform like no tomorrow. Other than that, I'd rather stick with the PC. I love my Macs. I love my PC, but my PC is my absolute workhorse. I build computers. I love the money that I make from building computers, but it's so nice when I can actually pop my computer open or buy all my computer parts from scratch and build my computer the way that I want it. Have it 128 gigs of memory, have it 5 hard drives in it, SSD hard drives in it, just nice graphics cards or dual graphics cards in it. That's what I love being able to utilize or do with my PCs. When it comes to Macs, the older versions of the Macs, I used to be able to take them things apart, fix them for other people, make it better, whatever the case may be. But nowadays, they just make it so hard now. You can't just crack these things open. You can't just go in and change out the hard drives, the memories, and all that type of stuff that you used to be able to do. You can't change out the RAM and stuff like you used to. And I feel like that's a little bit inconvenient. That's why I said Apple is doing things to try to get money out of everybody without actually taking care of the customer, and I don't dig that. Ran over about that. Let me see. For headphones, let me see. That's great. The quality of the song was sick. I have a Focusrite Scarlett and a great FET mic. I feel like I probably won't have to upgrade again, but I do feel interested in how a preamp would help. I actually have a video on that. If you haven't checked out my video, then definitely go check that out. But if you have, I'm gonna let you know right off the bat. Is a preamp necessary? No. Like if you're just gonna be recording, probably not. But I feel like if you're gonna be doing things on a professional level, then I definitely recommend that you get a preamp. I mean, I have a lot of gear in here in general, but one of my go-to is my Avalon 737. Obviously, y'all know that costs like a couple $1,000s, but I have not given up on it. I've mixed in professional studios, and I promise you that I hear so much trash talking about the Avalon 737 and how it sounds a certain way and yada, yada, yada. A lot of times I'm like, it's probably because you don't know how to use it properly. I mean, there's no way that you can have an Avalon 737 and feel like it sounds like trash. Like that is just beyond me. Like I don't get that. Just having I feel like with the parameters that you get on a preamp, it definitely helps your sound quality a lot. So I would definitely say you don't have to invest in something like crazy expensive. But it all depends on you and your workflow and who you're going to be working with in general. If you are just going to be recording some vocals and you're going to be sending it off to somebody else to get, recorded or whatever the case may be, honestly, there's just some interesting things that engineers can do. Like, let me give you an example. So I personally don't need a preamp, right? But I love the way that I can make a preamp sound because I also deal with clients and stuff for voiceovers, ADR recording, the whole 9 yards, right? But here's the thing. Here's a little trick. Here's a little trick that I try to teach people all the time. If you cannot afford a preamp, but you have plugins, there is a way that you can internally route your vocals through the plugins that you want of your choice, okay? Of your choice, and reprint those vocals back into your DAW, okay? So when you reprint those vocals, or you actually route, you don't even have to print it. You can just actually route your vocals through your actual favorite plugins that you may have of your favorite outboard gear, emulations of your outboard gear, and you just basically route that and record that in your recording DAW. And what it does is it permanently marries those effects to your vocals. So if you don't have any outboard gear, cool, set up a track and I'll do a video on it, because I guess it's time to show somebody that you just basically set up your track and you put your favorite EQ on there, and maybe you got like a knee plugin, a CLA 1176, whatever the case may be. You put all those on a particular track, you route your signal into audio track to where it actually prints, and you would do that through an aux, and all you would do is just print that effect through your vocals, and now those vocals will now have the effects of that EQ, that compressor, your favorite whatever plugin that you may have permanently. And it's just the same exact thing as routing your microphone through your preamp to your audio interface and to your recording DAW. Quick tip. Hopefully somebody caught on to that. Hopefully somebody know exactly what I'm saying. If you don't, I can't help you. But if you do, you're a smart man. That's all I'm going to tell you on that. So yes, a preamp will help. Real talk, a preamp will help. It don't have to be an Avalon 737. It don't have to be anything more expensive than that. A really good preamp that I think a lot of people sleep on is the PreSonus Eureka, I think that is. That's a pretty good damn little preamp. It's not that expensive, but if y'all definitely want to try that one out, try that one out. I think it sounds great. It might be another little investment that I'll just go ahead and throw in here just because I dealt with a lot of clients that I've mixed for that had that. And I'm like, yo, this is a pretty nice little preamp, and it's inexpensive. But what you're going to get on it with the ones that have a lot of the EQ, the compression, and things like that all in one is you're just going to be able to get that benefit of having your vocals being compressed and EQ'd before it reaches your DAW. Like that's a really good benefit. So once you have that preamp and you record through that preamp, you're going to get that compressed EQ'd vocal, and then you're going to be able to add more plugins on top of it, making it sound a lot better. There's a benefit in that, but is it necessary? No. It's not, because you can do it, like I said, you can do it inside of the software. I think some people just get caught up with that and they feel like, yo, I can't add more plugins. Yeah, you can. You can add as many compressors and EQs and whatever you need to add inside of your DAW as you want. As long as your computer can handle the processing power, you good. You don't need to just use one EQ. You don't need to just use one compressor. If your song requires you to use 4 compressors, use 4. If it requires you to use 1, then use 1. If it's more than that, then use whatever you need. Let me see. Can you post the links to them so we can find them and we can hear the song? Which song is that? Is that the song? Are you talking about the song for my son? Because if so, I can go ahead and you know, I could either play it or I can actually, yeah, you know what? I'll just do that. How about that? How about that? Let's do that. So let me pull up YouTube really quick. And mind you, again, these are my kids. My kids are literally under 10. My kids are crazy talented. So let me go ahead and make my video smaller. All right, so check this out. This is my son. Well, these kids, these boys are my boys.
Just keep going.
By the way, like I said, this was recorded on $100 or probably cheaper audio interface and a microphone that was under $100. The MXL 990.
Oh, listen, being a child is difficult. It's difficult. I know it's hard not to let it show. You gotta keep your faith in God right now. Ooh. People may not understand it, but that's okay, 'cause God will help them comprehend it. And you know you gotta be strong. You don't battle life alone. You'll make it through. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. Just push and pray and seek His face. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. You can do it if you try. If you keep going. Time and time again, you prove me to be worthy. When my healer one day hurt me. No matter what it takes, you gotta hold on. The sacrifice she made, I know you care for me. Everything that I've been lacking, you provide for me. You gotta keep your faith in God right now. Right now. Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. Just push and pray and seek His face. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Don't give up. You can do it if you try. If you keep going. Cash your care. All of your worries. All of your burdens on God, and He will take care of them. You gotta keep going. Keep going. You gotta keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Push and pray and seek His face. You gotta
So yeah, guys, that was the track. Those were my boys. And that's I don't know, man. It's crazy to um you I, I know you can only imagine what I feel as a parent in general, as a father in general. Um I'm really hard on my kids, like my boys. I'm hard on my boys, like for real. It's some people look at me and they like, yo man, you too hard on them, you too this and that, and it's like, man, you know what, man, you can think that and you can say that all you want, but at the end of the day, I would rather my kids be successful than behind bars or in a box. Okay, so I be hard on my boys for a reason, and a lot of the talents that they have, it's a lot of the same talents that I have. Art, music, singing, dancing, sports, the whole 9 yards. Like these are things that I've always been great at since I was a kid. And the only difference is I didn't have a dad, so I didn't have a dad there to push my dreams. But I had so many people, me being on a varsity, being in the newspaper, accomplishing so many different things in my life. Honestly, it's because I got the support and love from like neighbors and friends, whose parents supported me. But I didn't get that support from like my parents or whatever. I had to like really be my greatest supporter myself. And for me to be a dad of 5 kids, like I tell my kids all the time, like, I'm not here to just give you whatever you think you deserve. Like I'm gonna give you what you work for, period. And as far as a dad, like I'm gonna always push you to greater heights. Like that's my job. It's I don't want my kids to be mediocre. I don't want them to be arrogant. I don't want them to be cocky, but I don't want them to be mediocre at all. I want them to live up to their true potential, step into their greatness, and go be great. Go be great at all things. Don't be great at some things. Go be great at everything that you think you can put your mind to. Go be great at that. So when you hear my kids in that performance, yeah, it doesn't matter. I wrote it. I produced it. Whatever. Mixed it. Everything. It doesn't matter. But that work on them tracks, those are my boys. That's me pushing them to greater limits, pushing them past their limits and pushing them to greater heights. And that's their hard work, especially my oldest, the lead singer that you've seen in that group. Like he's unbelievably talented. Like if you just hear a lot of his recent stuff, go check out a lot of my videos. He's crazy talented. Like that dude is a producer. He makes beats. He writes songs, he records vocals. His range is just like, it's insane. And every time I'm in the studio with him, believe it or not, man, he's 10 and I'm like, yo, son, what do you think about this? Hey, let me use your ears. What's your opinion on this and that? Like he's young, but I trust his opinion because his ears are that good. Like he knows what he's talking about. And for me to trust a 10-year-old with professional work that I'm doing out here, it's like, yo, that should tell you, the type of kid that he is. So it's definitely, I should be trying to get them a lot more exposure with this stuff, but I'm doing a little bit at a time. But I'm going to leave a lot of the exposure to a lot of people who listen to the song or check out the song. Like, what's one share? It can't hurt, right? Share it to somebody or let somebody else listen to it. It may benefit somebody else. The song and the lyrics and the topic may not be for you per se or you personally, but it doesn't mean that it's not for that struggling mother who's a single mother of, 4 or 5 kids, or somebody who's feeling suicidal, or somebody who's down or feeling depressed, or whatever the case may be. That was the purpose of me writing that song, because my kids have that message within their hearts as well. And they wanted to inspire other people. They wanted other people to feel like whenever life sucks, whenever you feel inadequate, whenever you feel like you're not good enough, remember that you are, and just to keep going, keep trying, keep pushing. And that's what I truly appreciate about the song. So whenever you guys listen to it and you want to promote it or you want to share it with somebody, don't hesitate to share, to somebody who may need it, or hit that share button, because it definitely it ain't meant for everybody, but it's meant for the people who need it for sure. So I appreciate y'all giving me some feedback on that. Let me see. Okay, that's a good question. How does Cakewalk compare to Pro Tools? Yeah. Let me go ahead and do that right now so I don't forget that. Copy. I think, wait, can I do it here? Or do I need to do it on a YouTube? I guess it's saying that I was needing to sign in. Can I do it up here? It's the same thing. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's the link. Somebody said, how does Cakewalk compare to Pro Tools? That's a good question. I mean, I did a video on it already. I'm gonna just say period point blank that Pro Tools will always be the industry standard. Number one. I know you hear that all the time, but Pro Tools is just, workflow and making things happen. Pro Tools just get the job done. Period point blank. Cakewalk to be free. What to think about Pro Tools is it's expensive for most people. Okay, it's expensive, but just the workflow and everything about it, it's absolutely amazing. Like I don't know too many things that people can complain about with Pro Tools. Like I just don't. It's such a powerful DAW. The workflow, everything is just so easy once you start to learn it and get the hang of it, just like any other DAW. The thing with Cakewalk in general is that the DAW is free and it's just as powerful. Like the recording that you seen that I was doing today, like I said, that stuff is not even mixed. I've been using Cakewalk for a couple months now. I've never touching that software, and I've already done so many professional recordings in that software. It's insane. Like I have done so many mixing and master tracks for clients. It's unbelievable. Like it's unreal to be able to get my hands on a program and a software that I found for free. And I think that particular video right now on my YouTube, that video has like, I think over 460,000 views or something like that, all because of that one video. And that, I'm not even joking. Like ever since I got that program, like business just have like skyrocketed. And I feel like it's not even about the program. I just feel like the workflow is just as consistent as Pro Tools. And that's why I recommended it. That's why I did a video for people. I said, yo, this program is just as good as Pro Tools, if not better. And the reason why I said that is because, like I said, getting that program for free, being able to do sound design in it, upload videos in it, be able to make beats, record, mix in it, master in it. You can do all that inside of the software, and it's free. Like I don't understand why anybody would not want to do something like that. Now, if you're on a Mac, again, the M1 chips don't allow you to use the boot camp and go ahead and put the Cakewalk on there. Now, I know that there's some other things that people have been talking about that you can possibly use, but I haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried to put Cakewalk specifically on my M1 Mac Minis. But my MacBook Pros, I definitely did, and it works. And like I tell you, like I said before, recording, making beats, everything, it just seems so easy and like a walk in the park for me. And with Cakewalk, one thing that I like about it in general, like if I just go ahead and pull this down real quick, one thing that I appreciate is that like when you start to put the cursors over things, like it tells you what a lot of this stuff do, but it also has like the help modules that I feel like is super important. So if you click this help module and you don't know what something does, or you don't know what a feature is, or whatever the case may be, when you put the cursor over something on a screen, it'll let you know exactly what that feature is, what it does. So if you're like, oh man, like how do I find this? How do I find that? Like, where is this at? Where is that at? You don't have to feel stressed out to do that. And then just, a lot of things that they have in here, like on a channel here, the Pro channel on a channel strip, just being able to have a lot of this extra stuff on there, the compressors, the EQs, things like that. This stuff is pretty convenient, for you to go ahead and do whatever you need to do. I feel like inserting the plugins is not necessarily self-explanatory like how it was in Pro Tools. Like I don't like that. Like if I right click here and go to insert something, then I can go ahead and do that. But if you just click this plus button, you can go ahead, insert, do the same thing, and pick whatever plugin that you may want in here or whatever the case may be. But I just felt like that wasn't super it wasn't super obvious. Just like in Logic Pro, whenever you want to do like gain staging inside of that software, you click the vocal, and next to the gain in the inspector window, it just says gain, but there's like no obvious knob to turn it up or down. It's weird. So in order to change it up and down, you have to basically click in an open space and drag it up and down. And it's like, who would figure that out? Like, even me being certified in Logic for years, it's like, who your average person, who's going to figure that out? Like, that's stupid. It's dumb. It's something that they need to go back and change because it's retarded. And nobody's going to figure that stuff out. When it comes to this program, it's just like some of the things in here I feel like are just self-explanatory, but for the most part, the help module definitely helps. And then like if you want to go ahead and write notes. Like I love using a notes section whenever I write songs. Now, for me, I write songs in my head. That I don't use a pen or a pad or iPhones or any of that. I do it all in my head. Like everything is just in my head, so it comes out naturally. But if I ever needed to brainstorm or other artists, I've encouraged them to use this notes section because whenever you want to write a song, all you got to do is type it in the notes. And then if I'm sitting here recording a song or whatever the case may be, then the notes are right there in front of me, so I can type and then record at the same time, which is super, super convenient. Everything else is just, like I said, pretty much self-explanatory. I think the only thing that would be a little difficult for people in here is just to kind of figure out how to do the routing of a lot of the plugins and things like that, as far as the aux sends and bus tracks and things. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory too once you get it. I mean, obviously you click a send button here, and when you do it, if you want like new stereo bus or new aux track or whatever, and then whenever you want to route the actual outputs of the tracks, you just go ahead and click down here, and you just pretty much do the same thing, and it'll set them up. But being able to change the track colors and things like that, just simply clicking, like that's super convenient. And honestly, I think that's why I'm in love with it so much, because it's just like Pro Tools. I'm a huge fan of Pro Tools. It's just like Pro Tools, so I definitely recommend that people get their hands on Cakewalk, because if it's free, then like I said, why not utilize it? Let me see. Yep. Yeah. So he said, okay. It looks fine, just not as crisp as normal. Yeah, my video footage, I'm sorry about I'm sorry about the late reply. Yeah, my video footage ain't going to be as clear on this iPhone. I mean, I'm not sure if my iPhone is shooting in 4K or whatever, but on my Canon, for sure, it definitely shoots 4K. So don't look at my water and be like, man, what the hell he drinking? I drink a lot of water with lemon, lime, cucumbers, pineapples, a bunch of fruit. I just put it in the water and I drink it. It's pretty good for you. Really healthy. Other than that, let me see. You're absolutely right. Bars, have you heard the Great River M1 NV? I have not. Fill me in on that or send me some links. I need your Avalon settings though. Hey, absolutely. I can definitely get you the Avalon settings. I think for the most part, now that's far as the music. I mean, as far as this USB microphone, this is obviously USB, so it's going straight through the computer. But this is a 5-fine. I did a video on this microphone here, this USB microphone. This is a 5-fine. The company sent me out these microphones, and this microphone, literally, I think they only sell it for like $50 or something like that. This is a really good USB microphone that sounds pretty good. But as far as the Avalon settings, yeah, I can definitely share that with you, and then you can see how well it works for your vocals in general. I think for the most part, our voices is a little bit different, but just make a few adjustments, and I think for the most part it'll sound good. Because I know some people, I know you have the Apollo Twin X So I'm pretty sure that you probably have that Avalon plugin and it probably sounds great. I have yet to use it, but I'm pretty sure it sounds great. Let me see. Somebody said the quality is great. Where am I at? That's crazy, man. They need to be pushed and don't let up on them. I'm gonna show my kids. They blow it up. They stay on YouTube. Yeah, I would truly appreciate it. Just keep sharing it. Show love to my kids. It's not about me. I hope that my kids grow up to be great and really utilize their talent for something good. Something good in general. I think it'll really benefit them. Let me see. Talented, they remind me of the group Immature in the 90s. Yes, Immature was a dope group for sure. I was definitely a huge fan of them when I was younger as well. Let me see. That was amazing. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Let me see. Cakewalk used to be expensive a few years ago when it was called Cakewalk Sonar. Yeah, absolutely. But went out of business. So BandLab from Singapore bought it and made it free. Yeah, you know what? There was a guy that was on YouTube named Masquerade or something like that. And he was the one that actually, did a lot of the recordings inside of Cakewalk Sonar. And I was like, yo, like, bro, like what? Like, you gotta be using Pro Tools. And he was like, nah, I'm using Sonar. And I'm like, what is that? At the time, I had no idea what it was. And when I heard a lot of his recordings, I was just like, yo, like, this is crazy. Get professional recordings. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. That got to be a powerful dog, just being able to get that type of workflow out of it, get that type of product out of it. And it was. And then, once I came across Cakewalk and I opened it up, cracked it open, tried it, the first day that I cracked it open, I ended up recording like a full song in it. Like, I produced the beat and then I recorded the full song. And I'm like, yo, like, this has to be a powerful DAW or software if it doesn't even require me to sit there and spend hours and a long time trying to study it and make it sound good and, whatever. So that's what I truly appreciated about it most. But, to go back to what I was saying earlier, if you can afford Pro Tools, get Pro Tools. Like, I got so many of my new clients now because of my video that actually own Pro Tools 2021 and won't even utilize it because they now utilize Cakewalk, and it's just so much easier for them in a workflow, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yo, like, you got an expensive program, at your hands, like, that you can utilize any day, whatever, to get the process done, even though that's one of my go-to softwares. But they're just like, man, Pro Tools is really just the standard for me. But Cakewalk for them is just like so easy for them. I'm like, yo, okay, well, use whatever makes you feel comfortable. If that's your go-to software, then stick with it. So that's what I encourage them to do. And y'all should do the same. If you like it and it works, then utilize it. Let me see. Somebody said, did you answer the one guy's questions about the preset? Will your $25 preset sound good on just about every instrumental? Yes, I did answer that. Yes. So for the most part, yes, it will. All you have to do is you probably just have to make some quick changes on certain plugins. But I haven't heard anybody that have said that it didn't sound good on, different beats or whatever. They pull it up and record with it and say, man, my vocals sound like crispy or they sound clear or whatever the case may be. As long as people are understanding me when I say that it's not a mixing or mastering template, then we should be good to go. That's it. It's not a mixing and mastering template. It's a vocal template. Either you get a vocal template or you get like the Cakewalk template that I have for sale. It's like a session template. It has everything. So it has like everything set up in the session, the leads, the harmonies, the hooks, everything's panned. They got like the routing going to the aux sends. It got some reverb, some delay, some EQ, some compression, all that type of stuff on there. And what you basically do is you record and then you tweak things to make it sound best fit for the song that you're recording. So if you get the template and it has too much reverb, fine. Go in there and cut some of the reverb back. If you feel like your vocals need to be turned up a little bit, turn your vocals up. If you feel like your song needs to have a little different delay, then go in a delay and change the timing of the delay to the BPM of the beat that you're recording to. It's really that simple. Let me see. What's up, man? Glad to see you live. What can I expect with the sound treated room? Focusrite AT4050 and your presets. Anyone you know with this setup who spits. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have the AT4050. AT Audio-Technica microphones are great, period. Like, it just depends on, you know, what your signal chain is and how you're recording your vocals. Like, when you say a sound treated room, that puts a smile on my face, because that's all automatically gonna take away a lot of your problems. Okay. Then with the Focusrite has always been a win-win in my opinion. Audio-Technica has always been a win-win. And then the preset, like I said, the preset, I'm giving you guys straight facts. Like, these presets are legitimately something that's gonna make your sound better. I know it is, because of my experience from it. Again, I'm not out here just slapping a bunch of BS on there and like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is gonna make you sound like $1 million overnight. No, you got to tweak a couple things to your liking. You got to use your ears, but for the most part, you'll be able to load up this stuff and say, yo, like, my vocals sound clearer, they sound better. And if you feel like your vocals sound too thin, then you add a little bit body in the EQ with the low mid frequencies by boosting it a little bit. If you felt like your vocals, for whatever reason, would sound too muddy, then you would go into the low mid frequencies of the EQ again and just cut it a little bit more, take some of the low end out. It's that simple. Plus, you can add whatever you want to add on top of it. Compressors, you can add more compressors, you can add more whatever effects that you may want. You can go ahead and add that stuff on there. So, but yeah, guys, I've been on 1 hour and 41 minutes. I didn't expect to go longer than 30 minutes. I always do that when it comes to these live videos. But, you know, I truly appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can get more videos like this in the future. Also, some of you guys out there, some hit the keys. Be sure to go check him out. I try to show love to everybody, man. I try to get my subscribers to go head over to these other channels and go check them out. In general, I would love to do some collaborations with a lot of you guys, whether that be like YouTube videos, lives, or, you know, some music stuff or whatever. I'm really trying to spice up my channel a little bit, and I'm trying to add some collaborative stuff on here. So I'm going to be in the works of doing that. I'm also going to be having some other videos coming out that actually talks about free plugins and, you know, how to utilize free plugins, especially when it comes to mixing, because that's something that I truly care about. And I know that a lot of you guys don't have a lot of money to be going out and buying all these expensive plugins. So it's my job and my duty to go out and find some of these free plugins for you so you guys can really utilize them when it comes to recording your music or mixing or whatever the case may be. But other than that, guys, I truly appreciate you guys supporting my channel, checking my channel out. And guys, as always,